Number 5.
Hello, you're listening to volume 125
125. Wow. Who would have thunk it?
of the Strange Roots podcast. I'm Cherise Letson,
I'm Kate Milbury.
and today we are talking. We're doing a little celebration, just us this evening. For 125, we're talking about our 5-year anniversary, which technically happened in September, but like we don't care. It's same vibe.
How
Same.
did we get here?
I don't know.
How did,
It's like
how did we get here?
It's been so funny because over the past little bit, like I know you've been putting together posts and content for the next couple weeks, and you've been sharing videos and stuff from over the past 5 years, and I'm like, I forgot this even happened.
I know
Like,
it's wild. And
like all the events and stuff we've done, and people. Of course, I remember everyone we've talked to, but it's you're like, oh, I remember that was back in volume 7 or like volume 43, and I'm like, we were on volume 43 at one point. How is that? How is that a thing?
So all that to say, thank you to all of you who are watching. All of you who are watching.
It's Sunday night, team. We are
and listening to these.
Thank you so much. And also a special thank you to our Patreon supporters, some of which have been with us since volume 12. I don't know when we ever launched our Patreon. Thank you all. So the scroll.
The scroll.
The scroll. Okay. So huge thank you to Chuck Healy,
Colin Walshoots,
Mary Hicks,
Brent Harris at the St. John Tool Library,
Brad Davis,
Corey McGill at McGill's,
James Mullinger,
Kaylin Capson of the Peg and Place podcast,
Brennan Parker,
Glenn Hicks at U Station,
Michael Hawkins,
who will be playing this coming weekend at our Strange Grooves 5th anniversary
at the Five and Dime in St. John. Y'all better show up.
It's going to be a wicked time.
And Nick Curtis.
And our newest Patreon supporter, Jennifer Irving.
Jennifer, yay! Thank you all so much. We could not be doing this without you.
It's crazy.
Your support over there, and even past patrons as well. I know we've had so many great cheersing our chalices with gummy frogs.
Want some?
Yeah, even our like past patrons, people that have been, supported us over the years. Thank you. It means the world to us that, you've helped pay to keep this going.
I think when we look back 5 years ago, we always say this, but we never really thought that, I think that we would be recording with the people that we were recording with now, or I don't know, just being really accepted into the music community, like around the region, and like really just like, I mean, we did a look earlier at our stats a few weeks ago, and like we're being listened to in over 50 countries.
Yeah, like, shout out to whoever's listening to us in Finland.
It's wild.
Let us know.
But we're here for it, and we're looking forward to what the future holds. But we're just really grateful because this all started out as just this, and now we get to record it, and we get to go places and speak about it, and we get to interview people and meet really great organizations. And I don't know, it's been really great. I think both like as a hobby and as an outlet, but also like meeting people in like the business community and just like around like the country, really, like from a band and musician standpoint. It's really given us a lot of opportunity to dig into music in a way we've never really, I think we always wanted to when we were younger, but I don't know if like the almost famous Kate and Sharice would have thought that we'd be writing and talking to and about musicians at this caliber. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my kind of take on it.
Yeah. So. I think I've said this before, like in a couple episodes back, but like, I was was whatever, a practicing journalist. And I just never thought like music journalism was going to be something I'd do. Like, I don't know, like it just, the idea of looking at, music, particularly music I love through like an analytical, like critical journalist lens. Like I didn't like the idea of that. Like, I think music is so subjective, and different music, resonates with so many different people. So with Strange Grooves, it's sort of become like that outlet that I always wanted to do something with my love of music and use my skills towards to do something with my love of music. But that's what sort of Strange Grooves has become for me. And it's been, I don't know, like what I do without it at this point.
Nothing. And so, yeah, if you're listening or watching again, like we selfishly did it for ourselves, but then so many of you, enjoy it. And, we're excited to have these like birthday parties, and it seems wild to be celebrating 5 years or in 5 years and more as friends. And I don't know. So tonight, we've been really busy recording with so many great people, venues, bands. It's been great. If you've been following along our Music New Brunswick series, that's been coming out. I hope you guys have been enjoying that.
That's been so much fun. I've been loving editing those. We talked to so many cool
Yeah.
people. I can't wait. Hope
But
you're enjoying it.
we were really stoked just to like get on Sunday night, just kind of chat to you guys a little bit about what the last 5 years have really kind of meant to us. And we do that every once in a while, but I think just for us, like, it's not about trying to have like amazing guests tonight. We're the guests.
We're the guests.
We're the
I always
icons.
say like some of our favorite episodes and some of our best, most downloaded episodes have been both of us just
It's
shooting
true.
the shit, literally.
I think like over, the duration of this podcast, we'll probably just talk a little bit about some of our maybe highlights and remind each other some of the things that have happened. I made a little sheet that it doesn't have, I didn't make like a Kate sheet. I just made like a mini one, and I just kind of said like, whoa, how did we get here? The Talking Heads. How did we
Right.
get here? 5-year recap, like what's coming up. And I think a big part of like music that we always talk about is sometimes you go to shows or things happen and you don't necessarily remember them because like things are just happening so quickly.
Mhm.
But we'll see a video or something that each other's supposed to be like, oh my fuck, like we went to that show or this happened. Remember when we went to see the Stampeders in Fredericton and the radio station posted us?
Oh my gosh.
Like those are the moments that I was, kind of stoked to talk about.
Forgot about
tonight.
that.
So yeah, so there you go. Reminder.
Okay. So you just mentioned the when we became local Fredericton radio celebrities. What are some of your highlights over the past 5 years? What have been some of your favorite strange moments?
Okay. So I haven't actually thought about this. But if I had to do it off the top of my head, I would say like one of my favorite interviews was probably with Dave Love.
Yes.
That one was probably one of my favorite interviews we've ever done.
That's so cool. That was such
and
a
I
cool
mean,
thing.
again, we've done 124 other and other exclusives and things too. So we're probably up in the 150, 160 range.
Yeah.
But I would say like, of course, like the ones with Gordy at Backstreet were really cool. Like we've done some really great like festivals and stuff. But I would honestly say like Dave Love was a highlight of Strange Grooves for me. Like I still look back at that and thinking about like his family and what they're doing at the cottage and stuff. And I really, really enjoyed that. Obviously the first time we ever met the Stampeders was really wild. That was like really cool. And being able to like be there with, your mom and Kim and stuff was really like, that was really full circle. And I think that's probably when we both knew that we were like maybe onto something a little bit more special than we had just sought out as like a living room project.
Yeah.
Like there's been so many like really iconic people, but I would say it doesn't come down to interviews we've really done. It's been moments together, like when we're walking home after like seeing Matt Mays at like 506, like the first year, a few years back.
Yeah.
And like had been carrying cushions like all the night before. And like that wasn't the night that like,
we
like,
got to chat with them or
no,
whatever after.
like,
there's no interviews or anything like that.
But like I would say like those would be the moments where we're just like going out for you and I, or like, like our fun photos, the things that we do that way. I think that bring us close together as buds. And I think that that's why we maybe are able to grow the project and grow like the brand and stuff. So I would say like probably the moments together, as cheesy as that might sound. Like driving to Moncton and like setting up.
Oh
like,
yeah,
as
record
much as
expos.
as much as I love like recording with everyone, like it's it gives us time to like listen to each other's playlists going up and like learn about each other and like actually want to keep doing the fucking show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's not like, and I think too, like pandemic, all those things affected so many people. So we really became like a lot in the promotions kind of side. So we really wanted to help people who were touring. And if we got a lot more requests to talk to people like a few weeks proactively before they'd be coming through, or, so that's really like amped up and stuff. So obviously like if we're talking still about highlights, like I loved getting to meet like Taggart and Torrance, like when we got to meet them. Like,
yes,
just, like,
oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
Like, those are like the
that
moments that I'm just like, oh my god, like that was really, really cool.
And they shouted out our show. They were like,
and like they had reached out to us.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And like I was at Steamers and like that. I'm like, I love like
Yeah.
Jonathan Torrance. Like J Rock is one of my favorite
J to the
character
ROC.
like characters ever. And if you're into Trailer Park Boys, random plug.
Okay.
If you know Jacob Collins, he's
Do I
Phil
know
Collins' son on the
Oh,
show. He
okay.
gets dishonorably discharged from stealing piss in the military. Well, he's coming to McGill's on
Oh,
November
wow.
24th.
We'll get out of town.
And it's like half a comedy show, half like a show like with him, and there's like music and stuff. But obviously we'll be there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Maybe eat some cheeseburgers, some wings, hang out. It'll be really fun.
Cheeseburgers, still got to be some cheeseburgers.
Obviously, come on. But yeah, moments like that where we have these moments and connections and ways in because we've tried to make an impact.
Right.
That would be probably some of my favorite parts of the show.
Well, that would take me down memory lane a bit. I'd say for mine, I agree with everything you just said. But to add on to that, obviously meeting Ken.
Yeah.
Get the interview with Ken.
I would have said that, but I knew that was going to be
going to be one of
yours,
mine.
so.
Yeah. Having
It's
Ken.
like the Desert Island disc. I just assume that we'll like collaboratively pick the best thing.
Yes, you knew that was going to be mine.
Yeah.
Just meeting, meeting Ken, an artist that I grew up listening to and ended up becoming like really great friends with and collaborating with him on this book. And so that was like a miracle. And like, I remember, like we've said this so many times over the years on the show, but I remember when the earliest days of the podcast saying, do you think like if we get enough listeners or we get big enough, we could have Ken Tobias on the show? And everyone around us was like, yeah, why don't you just reach out to him? Like he's in St. John. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And anyways, the most coolest, nicest, kind, light of a
Ken,
person.
if you're listening, we love you.
Yes. So that's definitely one.
Yeah.
Another one I would say is, I don't know if you remember this. So it was Area 506 when we had the lounges backstage. And I remember was coming back on the Digby Ferry because I was in a wedding that weekend. And I came back to help you, right? Because I wasn't there the first night of the festival because I was in Digby for my friend's wedding.
I remember that, but I don't remember you not being there.
So the first night,
you're always there.
Yeah, I was in spirit. But I remember I went and
we brought this.
Oh my God, the winning an award. Okay, so that I'm going to add that to my list. Okay, so back to my 506 story. I remember texting you and I was like walking down.
I'm trying to show you, but not me. That's so funny. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
I was walking down to the festival grounds and you were like, doing your thing backstage. And I was like, so I was waiting for you to meet me so I can get my bracelet. And I'm like talking to Scott from Pension, shooting the shit. And then I see you walking and you were like on a mission. You were just like, and I'm like, Kate. And then you were like, you put your finger up in the air, you're on the phone and you were like, boss bitch. Like,
I don't remember.
You were on a mission.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, okay. Like she's stressed out. Did something happen? I don't know. Like, anyways. And then maybe 10 minutes later, here you are, you pull up on a golf cart in the back of a golf cart. And these two dudes who I don't remember their names.
Was I driving it?
No, you were on the back.
Oh,
You're hitched on the back. And you're like, Charisse. And you like had like, you lifted up your fist and you had like bracelets in your hand. And you're like, let's go. And I'm like, okay. And I like hopped on the back of the golf cart and we're just being whizzed around, and we got whizzed right backstage at Area 506. And I got my bracelet and I got to see the beautiful lounge that I did set up the lounge with you before I went away. But I got to see it in action.
That was really
that was like a magic moment. Like I just felt so cool. Like I was like, here we are getting like ushered backstage. Bestie has like our backstage
that was
passes.
like the year with like Glorious Sons
Well,
and July Talk.
Exactly. And that was like, and that just kind of leads into a really awesome weekend. Like we got to interview the Glorious Sons. And I remember one of the band members sitting in like our lounge. We were just shooting the shit after their set, or it was near the end of the night, and they're like sitting in our lounge being like, this is super cool. Like this is the vibe. Like I love this energy right now. And I'm like, we created this. This was cool. So that was a fantastic memory I had.
The random after party we made at the Ale House.
Yes.
Shout
So,
out to Jesse and the
Jesse.
team at the Ale House.
Yes,
for
and
our
again,
shenanigans.
I want to say this too. This is, you know, you were magic that weekend. I know sometimes, I know there were some moments that were probably stressful and like, you know, getting her done, but it was, you arranged an after party at the Ale House upstairs for the
Gotta
Glorious
keep it
Sons.
strange, everybody. Just
Yeah, you
gotta
just,
keep the experience rolling for people.
and
right?
that's only some like that's only some like Kate, you're one of the few people. You might be the only person I know that can do something like that. So, yeah, so that was
I'm like,
magic.
oh, am
Aw,
I feeling slightly motivated that I can do things in life?
you
Lisa?
should.
Okay.
I always like that was all
It's
that
a
was
pretty doubtful weekend, I'll say. So
it was
these moments
all
feel
yeah,
good.
it was that was definitely a highlight. Um what else? I'd say the first record expo we
That was
did.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Shout out to Marty. For having us for multiple years. We need to get back up there.
True.
Pandemic really just threw a
Yeah.
wedge in us doing anything
Yeah.
for a while there. So shout out to him. So that was cool just to, you know, connect with people. And I remember us like taking turns going out and finding all the records we loved and
Oh yeah.
switching out.
That was wild.
That was
awesome.
fun.
Yeah. I'm just like looking at some of the Polaroids
In the
just, like,
background here.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like of past birthdays
that
and
was the
like
first record expo.
DJs and like, you know, it's just like a lot of our posters and stuff are up behind us, like how we, you know, met and our lanyards and things like that. So I don't know. This is I always this is
Brian
like,
Cranston looks like Gordon Lightfoot.
this is the thumbnail, guys. Yeah, like I don't know. I think you go so fast in life that you forget like that this is like a really
Yeah. There's one more memory I'd like
we
to share.
we can each share a few more.
Okay,
I'm
there's-
excited because they're conjuring.
They're covering
again.
up.
They're coming back.
There's just one that I was just thinking about now, just looking back and seeing, you know, cousin Matt Letson in the
Yeah.
background. I remember when I went away down to, I used to, before Matthew moved up here for good, I used to take yearly trips down to Massachusetts, and I got to chat with Matt's fiance at the time, Evan, and who passed away in November 2020. And I was, you know, this was 2018, I think it was. I think it was 2018. It was about, we were well into it.
Yeah.
And you weren't there with me. So I made it a bonus episode because I'm like, it's not a real episode without Kate. But him and I, like, just one afternoon, like, he was working most of the time I was there. And we found time one afternoon to sit down, and he pulled out, you know, he's a huge record collector. Most of all of them, I'm pretty sure Matt has now. And we got to go talk about music and records and connect that way. And it's one of those things, like, you know, when he passed, I'm like, I'm so glad
Yeah.
like we did that and that we have that. And
Yeah.
he's launched his own podcast,
Yeah.
Recipes and Records. That
Yeah.
was super cool. And you can still listen to it. And we shared it as well. And I don't know, that's just, you know, looking back, like you know,
Yeah.
in hindsight, I'm
Super
so glad we
grateful.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like there was a lot of like we always say like life and music can be going pretty good and pretty rough at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like my moods.
Yeah.
Like woo.
I didn't say I was doing like facts, like not that like think you're moody, but I was like same.
But I am.
I meant the like same though.
But at the same time, like I think it's like gotta slow down, handy to each other.
Yeah.
That you know the show like we've done a lot of different things almost to the point where we forget about those micro moments that we have to start really scrapbooking.
It's true. Agreed.
Because you know like what will the next 5 years be like? We're only getting busier. There's more and more episodes happening, which is great. And you know again like we never ever thought that we would be out interviewing like our favorite musicians, talking to people, helping people put on shows, like making cool lounges, taking Polaroids, having crazy birthday parties. Like
Yeah, that was never part of it. Like,
No.
honestly, like I didn't and this isn't to belittle anything we've done, but it's one of those things like with a lot of creative projects, right? They run their course after a year or two,
Yeah.
like a lot of bands, right? And you know, and it's like it'd be cool. Yeah, we did that for a bit. That was fun. That was great. And you know, you move on to the next thing. But it's pretty amazing that it's been 5 years and we're still doing this.
I honestly sometimes don't even.
I'm like, oh, 5 years.
It shocks me sometimes
Mm.
because like time goes by like really quick now, and it just makes me want to talk to more and more, you know, people and like find good music because like that's what life's about.
Agreed.
you know.
That's what the show's about.
And of course, we can't forget about the best memories of all.
Oh yes, with the frog masks. So have we ever shared the origin of the frog mask
I
to our
don't even
listeners?
know.
I
I
don't
don't-
think so. I think for a lot of people, unless
I
like
don't even know if I know the origin.
yeah, I do.
Okay,
I'm like
well,
I'm like the Meister of Stranger's history.
'Cause-
so the frog masks, because most people probably just went on Instagram one day and saw us in frog masks and they're like, oh,
True.
what's the deal? And like, I don't know, like that's strange. And
Yeah.
okay, whatever, that's what they do. But it was it's not real a really profound story, but you sent me a TikTok one day of two people in frog masks and they're like running towards each other in like open grassy space or whatever, singing just the two of us. Not singing, they're dancing, like they're running towards each other to just the two of us and they're like
Sounds
spinning in
right.
a circle.
Yeah.
And you just said, I'm going to get us these. And I'm like, okay,
That makes sense. Yeah. okay.
LOL, crying emoji, cool.
sense.
And then a week later, I come upstairs to record, and you're like, "Oh, here we go. Look at it." I'm like, "Oh my god, she actually fucking got these masks."
Of course I did.
So that's all there is to it.
I have to show this awful picture, even though I don't want to, just because I don't.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, please check out the video of this episode to see this. But this is Kate's holding up our Faces of Fusion Award.
If somebody could just like burn this.
You
No,
know, you were like, this is when Kate was blonde. She had a blonde
for like
bob.
2 months. Okay, don't worry about it.
We all have those phases. Seriously.
Okay, nobody worry about it. I don't want any screenshots. I don't want anybody. I don't want memes. I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. So
Okay,
it was
okay.
a moment
But
in
I'm
time,
going to say
okay?
though, at the award ceremony, girl, like you styled that bob.
Yeah,
Like
well,
it looked
we all
friggin'
know
incredible.
who the icons of the show were that night. So.
yeah, no, and that was so first of all, still to this day, we do not we don't know who nominated us for the Tech Entrepreneur Award at Faces of Fusion, which is for people who are not local to St. John, is like an awards celebrating, I guess, young professionals like under 40 or whatever in different categories in the city.
Yes,
And someone nominated us for tech entrepreneurs. And we're like, we're
we had
podcasters.
multiple nominations.
Really?
Yeah, that's how you had to get in. But yeah, there were 3 other nominees, and it all came down to the 3 of us, and that last bit of people get the last bit of votes. So we were using our technology in different ways. So bam, we got it. So ta-da.
So I still have the trophy. Kate got to keep that memory of her. We could switch sometime if you want.
That'd be fun.
You're like, I want the trophy now.
Yeah, you
I don't
can
want
put
to
it like here, like it's an Oscar.
Yeah.
It should sit in the studio. Yes, you take this beast of a freaking
I don't have room
billboard.
for it though. I will take the billboard when I have like you have a closet. You have an extra closet than me.
True.
You could store that.
True.
I'll bring up the
I
award
mean,
though.
yeah. And I mean, too, like even talking about some of the last 5 years, like we've really gotten to do so much as a result of like the hard work and like the research that we've done and the writing and like the editing of the show that you do, like every bit of it, and everybody who's helped us film or take photos or, you know, contributed to the show or like the zine, like everything, all the aspects of it have made it what it is today.
Oh my goodness, I have another memory thing to share. Like you mentioned, just like, you know, you mentioned the zine and the people that have contributed. And I want to give a shout out to Haley and Alec,
Yeah.
who they young journalists, reporters, photographers, and they wanted some experience reporting on music. And the fact that so I basically just reached out to different shows, promoters, festivals to get press passes for them. And you know, we post their work on our website, just, you know, to share as part of their portfolio. And I think that's one of the most rewarding things, I think, to come out of this too, is to be able to provide opportunities for them. And also a shout out to Corey as well. We got him tickets to Harvest one year and he did a great job.
Yes.
So
yes.
hope he's doing
No,
well.
there's, I mean, over like 15 contributors to like
Over the
Strange
years,
Grooves
yeah.
over years. So like, God, we would be naming people for hours.
Yes.
You know, like everybody who's even been part of our birthday parties, like who've played with us, who are coming out even this week. You know, shout out to Amelia, who's, you know, helped with so much over the past year.
The merch
and,
designs.
like,
we
the
cannot-
first listen, like that's been a huge you know, contribution to both like the show and to like musicians around, you know, to the venues that have been, you know, working with us to put on like some shows to help musicians that are coming back to touring. Like
Yes.
there's been, you know, like just some fun opportunities just from us kind of facilitating connections, which which is great because it's what Sharice and I actually like to do because we love to help other people. We like to have good strategy or good process in place, regardless of how or what capacity we're dealing with them with.
Mm.
And then third, we only really like to go to things that we would want to go to.
Yeah.
So it's easier to just organize it and have complete control of it.
Fair enough.
Come to our birthday party this weekend.
Yes. So
It's going to be awesome.
this would be a great segue to talk about this weekend. If
Okay.
you're listening to this before the 19th of November and you're in New Brunswick or want to come to New St. John, New Brunswick, Strange Celebration at the Five and Dime. We'll be spinning some tunes around 9:30, and then DJ
It's like
Hawk.
an old school banner. It's like
Again, if you're listening via audio, please check out the YouTube version of this. And then so DJ Hawk will come on around 10:30, and we'll be dancing the night away. We got some swag, we got some goodies for.
we also have. So I'm gonna know if people are listening to the show this week
Okay.
because I'm here to give a strange exclusive. So if you are a longtime listener of the show, you know that there's a few people who have really always been kind of part of our crew. We've done multiple interviews with him, both as a musician, as a business owner, as someone who's very integral to the community, the music community,
Mhm.
And who's like popping off, right? Like this past year, especially. And we're so proud every time we get to chat with him. We just did a chat with him. So
Mhm.
if you haven't guessed yet, I'll tell you. But if you go back to Music New Brunswick episodes, you'll see it. So Stephen Hero will be making a little bit of a strange appearance on Saturday.
Oh, yay.
So you heard it here first. Get in the damn door. Pay just a couple bucks. It's pay what you can, and the first 50 people in the door will get a commemorative lanyard, Strange Grooves 5-year anniversary, and a little like swag pass inside.
There you
So
go.
it'll be pretty cool, and there might be a couple of other strange surprises and things. But if you're out and about, I mean, the capacity is only 120, so
Yeah.
get in because it probably will. I mean, not tootin', but like, come on,
Be there or be square.
honestly.
That's what I would say. That's all I got to
Um,
say about that.
and one other plug that I'm going to do just because it'll
yes.
air before this happens.
Mhm.
So, and I just ripped it by mistake. So Ryan, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, buddy.
How dare you?
So our bud, RC Stanley Ryan will be playing at the Five and Dime on December 1st.
With Sadie. What a
with
great duo.
Sadie.
I love that.
So this will be a great show. $10 cover at the door. It's really going to be a nice, cozy evening at the Dime. 9 o'clock, so it won't be too late.
No, we love those.
I mean, 9 o'clock is still pretty late. Don't get me wrong, but hey, it's not that late.
Yeah, it's not like
12.
11.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
exactly.
not doing that shit no more.
Sorry,
Mm-mm.
Ryan, we wouldn't be going out. Different show time. But that'll be coming up, and so lots happening. So if you're out and about this coming weekend, we would love to see you. If not, and you want to say hello, or wish us kind of any fun message, we'll be putting together a little video of everything just over the past couple of months and our 5-year best wishes and milestone moments. So if you want to be part of that, send us a video, strangegrooves@gmail.com, or reach out on any social media, send us a picture, video. We just love seeing it. Our bud Greg Hemmings was just at the Goose and Trey Anastasio show, and he was wearing the Strange Crew
Yes.
t-shirt.
That was so sweet to see. Thankfully, he's back on Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah. I remember I ran into him on the street. He's like, I've been locked out. He's like, I
I've
wasn't.
been locked out.
He's like, I hope you guys weren't mad that I didn't share. I've been locked out of my Facebook account. I'm like, oh, well, I did. I wasn't, but glad you're back.
I'm right mad. I was taking a tally. No, I'm just joking. No.
Yeah.
Again, you guys, like we really do have a blast, like creating the show, and when we say we couldn't do it without you, we mean it.
Yeah.
But even if we were recording with our phone and it was just to each other, I'm sure we would still do it, which is maybe why you listen. Maybe. I don't know.
We don't know. But thank you for listening.
But thank you for listening. And, over the next few weeks, we have a few more Music New Brunswick episodes.
Oh, we have more than a few more.
We have an amazing episode coming up with Abby Smith and Sid from Haven Music Hall coming
Yes,
up.
we can finally say what they're doing. I
Yeah.
remember last episode when they were
Yeah.
on for Girls Rock Camp, we couldn't like it was
Yeah.
very hush hush.
So we'll be talking about the launch of the new music venue here in St. John. We're also going to be talking to Josh Brovner the week after from the Hypochondriacs.
He was episode 7, wasn't he?
He was. So this will be
Episode 127.
This will be episode 127.
Oh
So
my God,
100
100
episodes. are gonna-
episodes.
So strategic,
It's
right?
gonna be
It's
good.
all in the cards. And yeah, we have quite a few more like really fun episodes lined up, but we never get tired or like, well, I say that, but like let them
speak
come
for
in.
yourself.
But we never get tired of hearing who you want us to interview, or
Yeah.
who you'd want us to go and see their collections, or what band we should be checking out. So if you want to hit us up, the channels are open. And yeah, we would love to hear from you. And if you have any ideas or things that you'd like to send us over for like some fun segments on the show, we're also into that. We have the Phil Collins segments of the show that we'll be doing a little bit more like over the
I hope
holidays.
so.
So if you're interested in being part of that, all you have to do is just reach out to us. Give us your phone number, best email. And what we'll do is we'll let you know a Wednesday and a time frame that we'll give you a shout, and then you can call into the show. So it'll be pretty cool.
Be
We'd
rad.
love to have you call in on the Phil Collins segment of Strangers. But yeah, so we're gonna call it a night here, Strange Crew,
Yes.
and get ready to make some swag bags and a few other things for the party. And again, thanks so much. And we hope that you enjoy the ride every week. And
hopefully for the next 5 years.
yeah. And until next week,
Keep it strange.
keep it strange.
See that fade?
I saw the fade.
Isn't that good?
Oh yeah. You should make that the intro. The end. See that fade?
Yeah.
Make that the intro.
And then we could keep it on at the end too, so
Yeah.
that people know the context.